Hey, it's me, Vicky Marie, and I want to wish you all a happy International Women's Day, all you ladies out there. It is International Women's Day today. And do we get a present on International Women's Day? Is it like a birthday? Because the present that I would like is to be able for all women to just go anywhere at any time, do normal things like going for a jog, like going for a walk, taking the dogs out, going out at night, walking home at night. That would be my present if I could be given a present on International Women's Day, would be that women could do normal things and not be in danger just because of the fact they're a woman. So anyway, happy International Women's Day, but it just seems ironic, doesn't it, when we're talking about Samantha Murphy today on International Women's Day, who went out for a jog on a Sunday morning and never came back to her family. Just seems terrible, doesn't it? So also I want to say thank you. Thank you for watching, liking, subscribing. Thank you. Special thank you to my members. We had a nice members live last night. We were talking about UFOs. Thank you to everyone who has joined or bought me a Ko-fi or sent a super chat. Thank you so much, because your support is what keeps me going. Like when I get tired or when I get trolled, or when sometimes I just think, oh my God, why am I doing this? That's why, because of the support that I get from all you guys. So thank you so much. And a special thank you as always to my trolleys. My trolley dollies, my trolls, hope you're all okay as well. I know you'll be watching. Okay, so let me turn that off now that I've said thank you. And now what I'm going to do is say hello to everybody. So it's morning time here in Spain. It's 9 o'clock in the morning. I'm on tea now. I've had my 2 coffees. I have 2 coffees in the morning. I'm on black tea now. This is probably hot, actually. Yeah, that's the only problem with black tea. It takes ages for it to cool down. You can't drink it. But anyway, so yes, let's say hello to everybody. And I can see I've got people here from all over. So for some of you, it's good morning, like me. For some of you, it's good evening. And for some of you, it's probably good afternoon. So I'm not sure where that would be. But hi, Kelly. Yes, I did. I slept very well. Thank you. I'm still a bit tired, but I think it's just because it's Friday, isn't it? It's Friday. And by Friday, I'm always a little bit tired. But I'm going to have a nice restful day today. We're going out for a meal later. I'm going to get some sun. It's a beautiful day here in Spain. I've got a jumper on at the moment, but I won't need it later. It's just cold in the house. Hi, David. Hi, Mello. So it's hot there in Melbourne, Kelly. Got your Zupa Duper. What's a Zupa Duper? Dull and damp where Mello is. That'll be the UK, I'm sure. Jackie. Hi, Jackie. Hi, Monica. Hi, Mariah. Mariah's in Australia as well. Hi, Ty. I think Ty's in Australia too. I think so, but you can confirm that. Kelly, it's like having a couple with friends and watching the news. Yeah, well, it's nicer to watch the news with people, isn't it? Because you can talk about it then as well, especially if you're, even if you're not living on your own, because sometimes the other people in the house aren't interested in the news. So it's like to talk. It's nice to sort of chat with other people who are interested in the same things you are. Elderflower and pear, that sounds nice, Jackie. Quizzical, hi. Oh, so it's only 6 o'clock in the evening, so it's only just evening. Icy poles that are in a long packet. Ice pops. I think we call them ice pops. Do you mean ice pops? Well, everyone's probably got a different name for them depending on where they come from, haven't they? Anyway, so of course, what we're talking about this morning is the latest news about Samantha Murphy. Right, let's have a look what a killer looks like, or an alleged killer looks like, because the gag order has been taken off. I mean, I could have showed it anyway, probably not being in Australia. But now the gag order's been lifted and everyone can see the face of this guy. I still cannot get over how young he is. I just can't get over it. Honestly, I suppose it's because I've got a young son, but my son is older than him. You know, he's just so young, and you know the way he's smiling there about his parents. These will be his parents, I presume, or whoever they are. But very proud of him, I expect. Patrick Stephenson looks just like any, you know, good-looking young man. Fit, healthy football player. Just, that's what a killer looks like, or an alleged killer, I should say, because of course he is innocent till proven guilty. But it just always takes me by surprise. You know, killers, they do walk amongst us. They're not gibbering wrecks that come out at night. I always remember Ted Bundy saying that. Ted Bundy is a typical example. You know, they're the guy next door. They can be your son, or he can be your dad. They've got kids. They're living normal lives. He had a girlfriend. He was arrested. When he was arrested, he was sat with his girlfriend, house sitting. What does she think of it all? You know, all these victims, because these are other victims. His girlfriend, she'll be traumatized. Imagine you've been following it on the news. I mean, they live in Ballarat. They'll have been following this on the news. Well, the girl certainly will have, the girlfriend. Well, he will have for a different reason. They'll have been following this case. She'll have been following this case on the news. Maybe she's a jogger herself. You know, it will have been the talk of Ballarat, won't it? Of course it will. It's been all over. It's the talk of Australia. It's been international news. She's probably sat and discussed that with him. And then, boom, the police come in, arrest him, take him away, charge him with murder, not only manslaughter, but murder. How does she feel? How do his parents feel? You know, so that's more victims to add on the list. You know, whenever somebody is a victim, there are always many more victims. And, you know, his family, they'll be getting a hard time from some people. There'll be all sorts of things going on that we don't even know about. But there you go. That is what an alleged killer looks like. A 22-year-old boy practically can't, you know, only just can make a beard. You know, just it totally, I'm totally shocked. I really am shocked. I don't know why, you know, because of his age. I think it's because I've got a son as well, like a young son. So yeah, what was the motive? Was he out, you know, of course we don't know all the details. Was he out looking for someone to attack? Did he just happen to be jogging and came across her? And I don't know, had he been thinking about doing something like this for a long time? Has he done something like this before? You know, all these questions that we don't know the answer to, and he is not cooperating with the police. Up to when I'm doing this video, he has not, we have not heard where Samantha is. And if I was his mother, I hate to even imagine how his mother's feeling. But I tell you what, I would be making sure he heard from me. He has to say where she is. And he has to allow her to be brought home to her family, to her kids. You know, he has to. If he was my son, I don't give a shit about what the lawyer advises. Or, you know, I don't care. At the end of the day, the most important thing now, can't take back what he's done. But the most important thing he can do now to sort of get some, you know, if he wants to save his soul, really, because whatever happens, the police won't have arrested him because if they haven't, unless they had, you know, all the information that they think that they need. And if he wants to save his soul, if not in the, you know, even if he doesn't get punishment in this world, he's going to get it in the next. So if I was his mum, I would be saying to him, you need to tell them where she is and let her be brought home. So that's what his mum should be saying, in my opinion. Because although, yeah, you wouldn't want your son to go to prison, of course you wouldn't. Nobody would want their son to go to prison, but nobody would want their son in eternal torment forever, his soul in eternity, because, I'm sure whatever he did, well, I'd like to believe that he didn't plan it, that it was like a spur of the moment thing. Who knows? We'll find that out, I suppose, as time goes on. But if it just looks like a little boy, not a little boy, but do you know what I mean? He just looks so young. So yeah, if I was his mum, I'd be saying to him, look, you've got to at least try and salvage something from this, some sort of, nice. I suppose as soon as he admits where the body is, that's when he's really admitting to the MURDER, isn't he? Maybe he's thinking if he keeps going, but it's not good. It's not good for his soul. So there you go. I just make sure I haven't missed anyone coming in. Hi, Pamela. Oh, so it's Mick's birthday today. Oh, we're going to watch the video that Mick made, the interview that Mick made. Yeah, apparently he's got a beard now, a straggly beard, they said, or a scruffy beard, it was described. But, he barely seems to be, just about shaving. I don't know. It's just so sad for everyone. Well, I wouldn't blame the family if they've fled their home, Kelly, because it'd be awful for them if hopefully they've got somewhere else to go. But yeah, so it was Mello's asking about Sissy Austin. It was the same area, but it was like the next forest along. It was about 20 kilometers away. I mean, it was close-ish. So in that area, so it could have been him who did that. But they said that person apparently had bare feet, didn't they? And no shirt on, and a stick with a rock tied to it. Maybe he has got some mental health problems, because obviously on this picture it doesn't look like he's got any mental health problems. But I tell you what, if he's smoking skunk marijuana, or he could. Well, I don't know what his circumstances are, if he's taking any substances or drinking or whatever. We just don't know, do we? Maybe he's since this photo was taken, maybe he has developed mental health issues, but he's holding it down enough. He's got a girlfriend and he was house sitting and carrying on his life, but it seems like the police have had him on their sites for at least 2 weeks. So whether they just decided to arrest him in the end and see if they can pressure him into confessing, because before they announced that they had charged someone, I think he'd been in custody for about 30 hours or something. So yeah. Anyway, of course, he won't want the body being found. There'll be DNA. But if he wants, honestly, if he wants to save his soul, and if his mum, if I was his mum, I would be there saying to him, you have got to help this woman come back to her family. You've got to give this family some peace. I would be saying that. Anyway, let's have a look at Mick's reaction. So somebody was saying there that they think it's Mick's birthday today. Very sad. I'm sure it's a big relief for him. But let's have a look at the actual interview that he gave. We had a look at a bit of it the other day, but we're going to look at the whole video now. He's here somewhere, I think. Oh, don't tell me I forgot to.
something you wouldn't want anyone. Oh, look, I feel. God.
Okay.
You
Here we
could
go.
not. How you feel? Head, oh, look, I feel. God. The adrenaline with everything and that's what's going on is just.
He does smile a lot, doesn't he? I mean, you know, it just makes you see that because the police have said that this guy's got nothing to do with the family. You know, the family have got nothing to do with it. This is what the police have said. And they've said they don't think he knew Samantha before. You know, so it seems like it was sort of almost a random attack in, you know, in the sense of it. Yeah, before they did say they thought she'd been targeted, didn't they? So we don't know really the upshot of everything. But of course, Mick starts off smiling. It just shows you how people have strange effects sometimes. There's been cases before that I've seen of, because obviously the husband is always the first suspect. That is just how it is. And many times, of course, it's true. You know, there is the partner or the husband. But it seems in this case it wasn't. But of course, Mick's smiling. It must be his affect, you know, just the way he is. Some people smile through nervousness. And I think especially men are probably uncomfortable talking about how they feel, etc. So, but again, he's smiling. You know, it seems a funny thing, but then we're all different, aren't we? So, let me just play it again.
You could not. How you feel? Head, oh, look, I feel. God. The adrenaline with everything and that's what's going on is just. It's trying to be brave for everybody. It's something you wouldn't want anyone to experience.
Is this a relief after all of these
yeah,
weeks?
it is, definitely. Yeah, it's like someone just let the pressure valve off sort of thing. Hasn't been a good nearly 5 weeks. But anyway, we're doing as good as we can. Keeping a brave face.
Can you just tell us what the last few weeks have been like?
To be honest, yeah.
Did you hope to find where Samantha?
Yeah, it's strange, isn't it? But I suppose you know, I think until you've been in that position, you don't really know, to be honest, do you? How would you react? Probably still all feels like it's not even really happening. You know, he's probably, the German Shepherd, hello. They're probably, you know, he's probably still feeling like he's in some sort of nightmare and it's not really happening to them. I suppose you can't imagine how you would feel or what you would say.
And
of course we do.
Yeah, have the police given any indication?
No, nothing.
Do you have a message to perhaps the person to help? You know.
No, I haven't got any comment on that. But, yeah. So thank you.
Have you been?
No, he's got no comment on that. I wonder what he does feel about it. About the actual boy himself. Wonder if they say they didn't know them, but it seems like this boy is quite well known in Ballarat because of his father being a football player, famous football player, but maybe not known to, you know, well, we just don't know. I don't know. I'm speculating.
What about the community at the moment?
The community's just been, from the word go, it's just been unbelievable. You could not, the generosity and the support from the community has just been just overwhelming. Friends, family, everyone. But there's just that much respect for Sam and us and the family.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Rallying around you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for your time, Mick.
So there you go. That was Mick's interview. God knows. I mean, I don't. God, fancy his birthday being today. I mean, he's not going to be celebrating, is it? Or maybe they're celebrating in a way, I suppose, because at least somebody has been charged. So that's got to be some sort of not exactly a celebration, but, you know, it is good news, isn't it? Rather than not knowing anything. But of course, it means that their worst fears have been confirmed, that Samantha is not coming home, that she is no longer on this planet. And after at least the hopes that they've had that maybe one day she would come back, and then there was like a brief glimmer of hope. I think even when the guy was arrested, because he thought he may have been keeping her somewhere, as soon as he was charged with murder, then all that hope goes out the window, doesn't it? So yeah, and there's probably a lot of relief, as you say, for him, because Mick has taken flack, obviously, being the partner. A lot of eyes would have been looking at him, and we all looked at him in a way, but some people more vocal than others about it, and I expect in his community there'll be some people that were looking at him sideways. I think it'd be very difficult not to, even if you didn't really sort of, even if you were thinking to yourself, no, it couldn't possibly be him, because you knew him. There'd be a part of you that'd be thinking, oh, what if it is? That it's just the way it is. Whereas I think for that boy's family, they won't have thought for a minute that he could have had anything to do with it, unless he was displaying some, strange behaviours that we don't know about. That will have been a total shock. Could you imagine the shock of that to his girlfriend and to his family? So I feel for that family as well. That's another family that's been destroyed, but for different reasons than Samantha's family have been destroyed. Hi, Faye. You think others might be named? Have you any reason for saying that, Faye? Just wondering, have you heard that, or is it just something that maybe you think? Or I think it does. They're examining a vehicle, aren't they? Yeah, they're examining a vehicle. I did read that this morning, so we'll see. And they did say in the beginning, didn't they? They did say that they thought there were others involved, more than one person. So we'll see. I do feel there's more to come out. That I know that 22-year-olds are capable of great evil. Even younger people are. But just as soon as I saw his face, I just thought, oh my God. When you're imagining like what might have happened to her if you went through all the scenarios in your head, once the police said that they believe she'd come to foul play, and obviously Mick is a suspect, he's got to be a suspect, then you'd go through all other thoughts of people in your head. None of them that were in my head looked like him. It was like all older people. So it was a big shock when it was him. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, the thing is, I suppose, if whoever's guilty of actually killing Samantha, well, he's been charged with murder. In a way, it is in their interest to leave the body hidden as long as possible, because DNA. Would it still be on? I don't know how long DNA stays on a body. Also, of course, sorry to be graphic, but the more decomposition, the better. Decomposition, the better as far as establishing cause of death is concerned. And if the cause of death can't be established, they've got more chance of getting off or getting a lighter charge. So there's all those factors, aren't there, coming into it. And he's a young lad. He's 22, so I suppose, I don't know what, say he got 20 years, he'd still only be 42 when he came out of prison. I don't know if they do whole life tariffs in Australia or what I suppose it all depends on the court case and what comes out and the final, because it's August before it goes to court. They're saying that now he won't appear in court. He's appeared in court the first time, where really all he only spoke to say that he could hear when the judge asked him if he could hear what they were saying. Now he's appeared in court a second time to be told, this is when he appeared apparently with a straggly beard, to be told that the gag order had been lifted. So initially the judge had put this gag order on that his identity could not be revealed, which was a little bit too late because everyone had revealed his identity already. And then the judge put the gagging order on, and then the media put in an objection against it. and it's been lifted. So he appeared in court to be told that, and now it's said that he will not appear in court again unless something else comes up. He will not appear in court now till August. So yeah. Yes, he did consent to it being lifted, quiz code, and that makes you think, well, his lawyer did. That makes you wonder, doesn't it? Is the lawyer thinking, oh, well, if they take off the gagging order, has he got more chance of arguing that it wasn't a fair trial, later down the line? There'll be a reason for it. I don't suppose it was for anybody's benefit but his. Take the gagging order off. So between now and August, everyone will be talking about him and talking about this, about what he's allegedly done. And by the time the court case comes, are they going to say, oh, well, everybody, he's been all over the news and that, so he's not going to get a fair trial. So there's it's so difficult to keep things hidden now. It reminded me when it first happened. I don't know, again, this is another video I'd like to do one day. There was a case in New Zealand, wasn't it, of a British girl who was murdered by a guy that she met on, oh God, what's that awful app, the one that everybody uses these days. And she met up with this guy in New Zealand, and he murdered her. And his identity was protected for ages and ages and ages. His identity was protected. But anyway, everybody knows who he is now. He was found guilty. He's gone to prison. It was anyway. I'll do a video on that one day when I get through. I've got this, unfortunately, so many cases, and I want to keep people's names in the public eye, because we must never forget these. It was Tinder, wasn't it? They met on Tinder, and even when he had her body in a suitcase, he went on another Tinder date. I mean, the guy was just awful. Anyway, these cases need keeping in the public eye, because we must never forget these women, and it's always got to be a word of warning for people, because she was traveling around and she was meeting. You should be able to do that. You should be able to meet different people, and he was convincing enough for her to meet him. She went back to his hotel room with him. So he obviously was convincing enough to make her feel that he was a normal person for her to go back to his hotel room. Anyway, and that was the end of her, unfortunately. No, I'm not talking about the one that fell off the balcony, Kelly. She didn't fall off the balcony because he put her in a suitcase. He put her in a suitcase and carried her off out somewhere, but... no, not the one that fell off the balcony. That was another one. Similar, but not the same one. So let me just have a look, actually, if I can find that. I should be able to find their names, because, their names are important, aren't they? I mean, the names of the girls, not the twonks. Yeah, Grace. I thought it was Grace. Grace Millane is the one I'm thinking about. And the killer was Jesse Kempson. And he used that rough sex defence. This is a popular defence now. It's either mental health, or she wanted rough sex and accidentally he killed her. These are popular defences now, unfortunately. Anyway, it didn't work. Jesse is in prison, thank God. But of course, it doesn't bring Grace Millane back, but hopefully protects other women. So that was that one. The one on the balcony, that was, again, similar. He was another one. There are always these like Walter Mitty types, aren't they? It turns out, like Jesse Kempson, he had, this sort of, the life he was really living was not the life he was telling everybody he was living. And the same was, it was the same for the other one. Let me see if I can find his name. You know, telling lies. Yeah. His name is Gable Toasty, the one that threw the girl off the balcony, or it's thought that he did. Wariana Wright was the name of the girl. I think he's out, actually, isn't he? Was he not found? Oh, he's awaiting trial. No, he can't still be awaiting trial. What was his sentence? Let's have a look. No, he was found not guilty. The one on the balcony was found not guilty. Anyway, I need to save those for another day and do. I definitely need to do a video about those cases. Yeah. Both very handsome men. You know, talk to good talk. You know, must have been convincing to get these girls to go into their apartments or hotels with them. You know, so they must have been able to turn on the charm, and then just suddenly turn on them, and it's too late. The girls are there. So it was Wariana Wright who went over the balcony. It was Grace Milan that was murdered in the hotel room. Okay, so let's carry on with looking at this. Hi, Pamela. And I just need to take that other one away. Right. Now, they're gathering at the moment for a memorial. I just want to show you this, because tonight in Ballarat, there's going to be a memorial service for Samantha. I believe they're gathering at the moment.
Well, volunteers involved in the search for Samantha Murphy are gathering tonight to honour the Ballarat mother. Mimi Becker is covering this story for us. Mimi, no doubt heavy hearts in the community there.
There is, Tom. For many people, this has been a heartbreaking few days, and tonight will be the first time that the community actually comes together to mourn Samantha Murphy and pay tribute to the mother of three. There is a condolence book here that is expected to be passed on to the family, and we have already seen people turn up and lay flowers in her honour. Hundreds of people are expected to be here in time for the vigil at 7 p.m. tonight, and they're the exact people that have been out in bushland week after week looking for this mother of three. It's understood some of them will share their memories of Samantha. They want people to come together and mourn together and feel that together, as well as the mayor who will address the gathering.
It'd be nice for everyone to get together, and I'm sure that there will be family and friends of Samantha's that would like to talk about good moments in their lives.
Understandably, tonight is expected to be quite an emotional gathering. As for the group of searchers, they say they are still determined to find Samantha, and they just want her family to know just how loved she was, Tom.
As said, an emotional night ahead there, Mimi. Thank you.
Okay, so so somebody's saying there, hi musical, saying that the vigil is actually going on at the moment, because it is 7:20 there now in Australia. Okay. Right, let's have a look at some of these news reports that are telling us about we know that the ban's been lifted, of course, now. But let's have a look at some of the news reports about it. And then we're going to have a listen to the mayor of Ballarat speaking. He's been talking about it all.
Hard to believe. Well, let's go to Ben Downey in Canberra. Ben.
Just go back. Yeah. Let's just go
The
back to the
son of
beginning.
former AFL player Orren Stephenson. Ainsley Kosh has the latest.
22-year-old Patrick Stephenson has been identified as Samantha Murphy's accused killer. He's the son and middle child of former AFL player Orren Stephenson, who played for Richmond and Geelong until 2014. The tradie was arrested at a home here in Scotsburn, where he was house-sitting with his girlfriend on Wednesday morning.
So this is his dad when he was playing Australian football. Actually, so he's got two siblings as well. So they said he's the middle child. So it's the mother, the father, the two siblings, the girlfriend, all his friends and sort of neighbours and that can't believe it. They're saying what a lovely family they are. This is what I mean about how the trauma sort of spreads out. Not only the victim and the victim's friends and family, but then the perpetrator's family as well. They're victims too.
He was charged with Samantha Murphy's alleged murder yesterday afternoon and fronted the Ballarat Magistrates Court when a suppression order was placed on his identity until that was lifted in court this morning. His arrest has shocked the community.
Can't believe it. Can't believe it. It's just unbelievable. They're such a lovely family.
Samantha's still missing.
Yeah,
which worries me a little bit. I don't think there'll be a relief till we find out what the heck's going on, which could take time.
Police allege Samantha Murphy was killed in a deliberate attack. They now believe she was murdered somewhere in Mount Clear on February 4, the day she went missing after going on a routine run. A motive is not yet clear and the accused has not yet revealed where her body is located. A vigil will be held for the mum of three here in Ballarat this evening.
Ainsley Kosh there. Households could be...
Now, he's hidden her body well, hasn't he? You know, how has he done that? You do feel that. How has he done that on his own? I mean, of course, they're examining a vehicle at the moment, and it may well be that that's why the police initially said, because they've obviously known quite a bit, the police, for quite a while. We don't know, you know, why have they gone in finally and arrested him? Maybe they've just got fed up of waiting for, you know, to get all the information together, and they've just decided to take him. But yeah, how has he hidden a body on his own? There must be witnesses, CCTV, something. It's difficult to hide a body. You know, did he hide it somewhere temporarily? Then did he go back under the cover of night and take her? You know, these are all the things that the police will be trying to find out, trying to establish at the moment. And I personally think they will find her. I do think they will find her. I hope so, anyway. So let's have a look at this.
Good morning. We begin with breaking news, and we can now reveal the identity of the man charged with murder over the disappearance of Ballarat mother Samantha Murphy. Let's go straight to Mimi Becker, who is following developments live from regional Victoria. Mimi, what more can you tell us?
Good morning, Jane. Well, in breaking...
Well, I just want to say there's something that Kelly just said there. There were the bushfires. You remember the bushfires near Ballarat that they thought were caused deliberately? Is that what they've done? You know, oh gosh. I'm sure the police have been looking at that and will be looking at that, but what would be left after a fire? God, I'm just thinking about it. Anyway, I'm sure they would find something. But we've had no sort of news that they are searching those areas. But of course, we don't know what they're doing. When the police let us know things they're doing, like when they were going back to Mount Clear, do you remember? And they said they were going back. They said that deliberately to try and panic people, maybe, because that's where they think she was actually murdered. For whatever reason, it must be to do with the Apple Watch. I think it's got to be to do with the Apple Watch data. You know, because that's what they said. They haven't mentioned a weapon yet, so they haven't said how they think she was murdered. They've just said that they think she was, and it was in Mount Clear, in that Mount Clear area. So when they said they were going back there to search, they said that deliberately. Maybe it was to take attention off other areas. You know, who knows what the rationale is, you know, and the police won't tell us that, and why should they tell us that? But they definitely said that for a reason. So, you know, I'm just hoping that those bushfires are not connected because, you know, of course, fire does take away a lot of DNA.
News, the accused killer of Samantha Murphy is 22-year-old Patrick Stephenson. Now, he's the son of a former AFL footballer, Orren Stephenson, who used to play for both Geelong and Richmond football clubs. Yesterday, his name was suppressed. Today, we fought that court order and have won to now reveal his identity. As we've said, police have charged him, the 22-year-old.
Just looks like the most normal boy in the world, doesn't he? You know, he's like all these. His dad, there's his dad, all proud of him, and this, you know, he's there, he's smiling and happy, and that. This is what I mean. It's just an absolute, just incredible, isn't it? You know, why? Don't know why, but you just cannot. You look at him and you just think, how can this be?
With murder over the disappearance of Samantha Murphy. Now, we understand Patrick Stephenson grew up here in Ballarat and has played football at the Redden Football Club for a number of years there. Now, we've spoken to neighbours from his family home who were incredibly shocked to hear the news that he was in fact the person charged over Samantha Murphy's murder. We have seen the 22-year-old face court again today. He was wearing a grey hoodie, a grey jumper, and didn't say anything in court, but was there to be told that his identity would be revealed today. Now, police say that this investigation is ongoing. While they have charged 22-year-old Patrick Stephenson, they have said that so far he isn't cooperating with the investigation and hasn't revealed where Samantha Murphy's body is. So that search for the mother of three still continues. As for today, a local community vigil is planned to remember Samantha Murphy, where a number of people are expected, hundreds of people are expected to come together, particularly those people that have been involved in the massive search effort for Samantha. Of course, this news both yesterday and today provides some closure for the community, but it certainly confirms people's worst fears that Samantha has allegedly been murdered. So there is a lot of news still to come, and this court process will play out with Patrick Stephenson to face court again in August. Jane?
Mimi Becker there with the latest breaking news from the Ballarat courtroom. Today is in.
So, you know, I still just can't get over it. But yeah, lots more to come out. So let's have a look at while we're looking at this next video, I'm going to have a look to see if I can find some footage of the actual vigil.
In breaking news, the 22-year-old accused of killing Ballarat mum Samantha Murphy has been named as Patrick Stephenson after a suppression order imposed by the court yesterday was lifted. Abby Dinham joins us now with more. Abby, what can you tell us?
And we've only just left the Ballarat Magistrates Court, where the application for an interim suppression order on Patrick Orren Stephenson to have his name, date of birth and address struck from the record has now been lifted. So we can confirm the 22-year-old has been charged with one count of murder over the disappearance of 51-year-old Samantha Murphy. Stephenson is the son of Orren Stephenson, ex-AFL player who played for Geelong and Richmond back in 2012. The order for the application to be lifted did come from the client himself, his lawyer said in court today, and that came after intense media scrutiny over the order being being placed yesterday afternoon. Now, we heard from police yesterday saying that Stephenson has not been compliant with the investigations. That means at this stage we still don't know where Samantha Murphy's remains are. They also haven't disclosed the circumstances in which Samantha Murphy was killed, whether there was a weapon involved or any potential motive for what happened in the lead up to this. And there will be a vigil that will be held here tonight in Ballarat for the community members to come out and remember Samantha.
Thanks, Abby. And we will be speaking to Ballarat Mayor Des Hudson for his reaction a little later.
Yeah, we're going to look at the mayor speaking. So, yeah. I just cannot imagine how that family are feeling at the moment, you know, what they're thinking, what's, you know, finding out that their son has done that. Now, I just want to show you this. So this is on, now, of course, the Facebook groups. You can imagine the Samantha Murphy Facebook groups are sort of exploding a little bit because now the community were due to go out again this weekend, weren't they? And that ground crew, you know, we've looked at some of the Facebook groups before. You know, there's been a lot of warring going on, as always, on Facebook. And now there's more wars going on because they're deciding what they should do with these Facebook groups now. Because, of course, most of them are called, like this one, Help Find Samantha Murphy or Find Samantha Murphy 2. Because, of course, Find Samantha Murphy 1 was the Sin Hobbs group, and she disbanded that group after a week. For what? And we listened to that podcast where she was saying that she disbanded it because the police told her to, and also because of the adverse effects it was having on her own life. But then she's been instrumental in trying to shut down all the other Facebook groups and this war that's been going on, you know, between the different Facebook groups. And then we had Sausage Gate, didn't we, where, you know, there was whinging about what had happened to a tray of sausages and, you know, just crazy things, as always on Facebook. You know, you just, if there's one thing you can rely on, there'll always be something interesting on there. Anyway, so I just wanted to read you this post because this is interesting. I think, I don't know where somebody's put this post on. In an extraordinary twist, the man accused of killing Ballarat mother of 3, Samantha Murphy, can be revealed, which we know. So Patrick Orren Stephenson, 22, a tradie. When they say tradie, do they mean a tradesperson? Is that like he was... is that Australian for tradesperson or tradesman? Of Scotsburn has been charged with allegedly murdering Ballarat mother Samantha Murphy. And this was in this, I found that it said they have also seized a vehicle in relation to the alleged murder. Now, if Samantha has been transported in that vehicle, there will be DNA, won't there? There'll be something there. It's hard to get it all out, even if you clean it out, and that is hard to get everything out of a car. And police further state that they have had their sights on Mr. Stephenson for a fortnight. So that, and it was more or less a fortnight ago. In fact, I think it was a fortnight ago today that we had the last press conference. You know, that the guy from the missing persons unit, he came out, and that's when he came out and said they were going to concentrate on the Mount Clear area, that they felt that some foul play had befallen Samantha. They felt that there was at least one person and maybe multiple people involved. So there's obviously ongoing investigations, and Shane did say that in his press conference yesterday, the Chief Constable. He said that this investigation is not over, it's almost just beginning. So they've arrested the young lad. He's in custody. He's been charged with murder, but there are more investigations going on. And then, of course, that his lawyer raised concerns about his mental health. You know, mental health's going to come into it. And he did it. Oh, yeah, sorry, I murdered that woman. It was my mental health. And they said he's in custody for the first time. So he hasn't got a record. as far as we know. He's certainly not been in prison before, and so they say that he has no mental health or drug issues. Would be very surprised if he doesn't have any, to be honest. But maybe not. Maybe you can be a twonk without drugs or drink to make you that way. So they're also saying that she was killed on the very same day, aren't they? On that very same day that she went missing, that was the day she was murdered, as far as the police are concerned. But they say he has no connection to the Murphy family. And he said, Shane Patton said in a press conference, he's refused to help, so he's not helping. And then, now this has been disputed now, because it says here, detectives are investigating whether Samantha was struck by a vehicle when she left her Eureka Street property. But I believe that has been, the police have come out and said, no, it wasn't a hit and run, it wasn't that. And here he is again, this clean cut, good looking young boy. Yeah. So just wanted to show that. I want to have a look at some of the other. Let's see if I can get this. So this is the Find Samantha Murphy 2 group. And let me see. So they've put this post on from this guy, Rob de Castella. He's a jogger, and he's saying about, I am shocked and saddened and angered by the tragic outcome of Ballarat mother Samantha Murphy. And to know that this occurred when she was out running is outrageous. It's even worse, isn't it? It's like, just out doing something normal, that women do every day, men do every day. And she couldn't just do that, So he says, I'm a husband, a father to 2 daughters, a mentor and supporter to nearly 100 Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander women, and former training partner to Olympic, World and Commonwealth Games champion women. I stand with all women and will do what I can. Makes me a bit emotional, this, to ensure they are safe and respected, and especially that they can run without fear. The running community must stand with all women in solidarity and ensure we provide a safe, positive and uplifting space for everyone, especially all women. And it's true, isn't it? Anyway, I'll come off that. Oh, is that where it was? I want to know. Anyway, so it's carrying on. The group is carrying on. One of the other groups has changed its name to in memory of Samantha Murphy. A Murphy. That's what happened to a lot of the Nicola Bulley groups. They changed their names, but they've still got Nicola Bulley in the names. And some of them, to be honest, they're very rare that they're offering anything about Nicola Bulley. They seem to have turned into something else, a lot of them. But anyway, there you go. Yeah, let's hear from the mayor now. Let me just put some windows down. So I've got a couple of interviews with the mayor, some of which were made, before the name had been released. So we'll just go through these. It's interesting to hear the mayor talking, I think.
It's from the detectives from the missing person in living form.
Joining us now live is the Ballarat Mayor, Des Hudson. Des, thanks for your time this morning. Can I start off by asking how the community is feeling about the arrest and the charge?
Yeah, look, there's been enormous community concern right from the outset. The outpouring of hundreds of people that regularly went onto the search grounds very early on, hoping that they might have found Sam if she had suffered a medical episode or injury and not able to get home. But then even as...
So this is the mayor of Ballarat. I just want to point out this weird picture in the background. It's not a very nice picture to have in the background, a skull. It looks like a dagger going through it or something. But anyway, there you go. I suppose some people think that's art.
The days turned into weeks and the weeks turned into a month, and then up until last weekend where there was still another community search organised. So there has been really strong empathy and interest in the case, not only just from our residents, but from people right around Victoria that volunteered their time, came from parts of Melbourne, came from Geelong, came from further afield, even some interstate that wanted to do their bit. This was a story that resonated across Australia. Sam was a mum doing everyday things. She was setting out to go for a run, which she should be able to do, and just didn't come home. And there was enormous community support and interest. And then obviously yesterday with the breaking news that Victoria Police had arrested and then subsequently charged a 22-year-old person with the murder of Samantha Murphy, which for all of us, and especially for the family, then says that Sam's life has been lost and she will never be able to be returned in a living form to her family. So her life will absolutely be devastated.
Des, her husband spoke of that relief, but is there also some exhaustion in the community as well, given we all thought the trail had run cold, and so people could only speculate about what might have happened and who did it?
You know, and I guess that speculation, and I had made a few comments, I'd seen some of that speculation, some rumour mongering, the innuendo that was placed, especially using social media. And I put out some comments saying, be kind, Ballarat. Let's let the investigative process take its course. There are professional investigators, and these types of investigations take their time to analyse lots and lots of pieces of evidence that comes from the community. So let the professionals do their work, and they have done their work. And I really do want to say to all of the people involved from Victoria Police, from the detectives, from the missing persons squad, right through to the frontline members that were on the search ground in those first few days, and everyone else since, along with members of the SES, the CFA, and then community members that volunteer their time to search. I'm sure we thank you for your gratitude, for your willingness, and for the support that had been given during what was a really difficult time for the Samantha Murphy family, and then the close-knit friends immediately around them. But there will be a public memorial for Samantha this evening in the Eureka Gardens, and I will certainly be attending that event tonight.
And Des, the media is going to contest the suppression order that's in place over the alleged killer. Now, this is obviously a decision for the court, but is that something that you would support?
Look, I'm not going to get involved in the legal side of things. I'm happy to speak on behalf of the community. That other process will take its course, and the court will determine what they need to.
Did you know the alleged perpetrator at all? I mean, given it's a tight community, everyone knows everybody.
Yeah, we are a tight community, and I do know the family and lovely people. I don't know the 22-year-old per se individually, but
so he knows the family, and he's saying they're lovely people. So that's it. If he's the mayor, they seem to be, you know, at the end of the day, that's the father is like a minor celebrity or even a major celebrity. I don't know how popular he is or isn't. I don't know anything about Australian football. But, you know, I would imagine in the wherever you lived, if it was, you know, the child of somebody famous, a famous footballer or whatever, you know, the parents will be known, won't they? The mayor knows them. But he says he doesn't know the boy.
I certainly do know the family, and it's tough for them as well. That not only just for Samantha Murphy's family, but also the family of the 22-year-old at what they will be feeling at this time as well. So again, I urge the community to be kind in their comments and just let the process take its course. There will be court hearings to come, committal hearings, and then a trial, and let that be where all of the information comes to light.
Okay. Des Hudson, the Ballarat Mayor, thank you so much for your time this morning, Des.
Yeah, so...
joining us now.
Sorry, yeah, if it was Manchester City, you know, a Manchester City player in Manchester, I mean, yeah, of course, people would be interested in that. So, you know, people will know that there'll be some people that will feel sympathy. Of course, we've got to wait. See, well, they'll be checking all the phone calls on that boy's phone calls, messages. If anybody else was involved in maybe not in the actual act, but maybe in the disposal of Samantha's body, because it's been hidden well, because there's been big searches. So, you know, her body has been hidden somewhere. And has he done that on his own, or has he had help? I mean, you can't help but ask that question. You know, he's just a young lad, 22 years old. Would he have known what to do with the body? Or, you know, we just don't know. These are answers that we don't know. But this will all be going on, won't it, with the investigation? And they'll have all these phone calls, all these messages, even if he's put it on factory reset. Because we saw that, didn't we, with Stephen Stearns in the Madeline Soto case. He thought he was being so clever by putting his phone on factory reset to hide all those child P photos that he had of Madeline on there. And it didn't work, because the police can still, you know, once they've got the device and from the phone records, etc., they can still trace back these things. So I'm sure there's a lot of investigation. If there is anybody else involved in this case, either before or after the fact, it will come out. 100% it will come out. So right, let's have a look at, I think I've got another another interview with the mayor. Or is it the same? Is that the same one? No, this one is like a radio interview. Let's listen to this.
Hudson on what is a devastating day for the local community following the news that a 22-year-old man has been charged with the murder of missing Ballarat mother Samantha Murphy. Her body has yet to be recovered and the investigation remains ongoing. We brought you the news earlier of Chief Commissioner Shane Patton's media conference. Des Hudson, the Mayor of the City of Ballarat, thanks for your time this afternoon.
Yeah, thanks, Jackie, and good afternoon to you and all the listeners as well.
One of the themes that came out of the Chief Commissioner's media conference with Shane Patton, Des, was the impact that this crime had had on the members of the community in Ballarat, and also how they all went above and beyond to help.
Yeah, absolutely, Jackie, and I couldn't be more proud of my community, but also the enormous volunteerism from people outside of Ballarat that also came to assist on the search ground. The issue of the Samantha Murphy case and Sam going missing after going for a run on a Sunday morning seemed to resonate all the way around Australia. So not only just my own community that came out and rallied to support the family, but there was an enormous amount of volunteerism. Those that travelled that just wanted to come and be part of the search, hoping that there would be a miracle and that Sam could have been returned to her family. Unfortunately, today we received the devastating news that 22-year-old person who was arrested and has subsequently been charged with murder. That then brings, I guess, the conclusion that Sam's life has ended and was taken away from her. Yeah. And we can only begin to imagine the hurt and the pain that her family is feeling today, but will feel for the rest of their lives. There will be significant events in the future for the family, Christmases, Easter, weddings, birthdays, that Sam won't be a part of those special times. So it is just absolutely devastating news.
Have you been interacting much with the family, Des, over this period?
Jackie, I haven't. I've wanted to keep a distance, allowing them to have time. I know they've had support of their family and those close immediate friends. I've not wanted to be intrusive. I think it's a time that we need to be respectful and allow them their privacy, and especially today and yesterday, especially when they were receiving those updates from Victoria Police. But there will come a moment in time that I will reach out and visit the family and just pass on our sincere condolences and the thoughts of our town. But I also do want to say congratulations to all the members of Victoria Police, especially the detectives from the Missing Persons Bureau, but also those that were frontline members on the ground from day one. Also SES members, CFA and the community at large that was out on the search ground day after day after day for a prolonged period of time. Those efforts are absolutely very much welcomed and thanked by our community.
And I think, I think, Des, by the rest of the state and indeed right around Australia, such as the impact this case has had on everyone who's heard it. Des Hudson is the Mayor of the city of Ballarat.
Okay, so the Mayor's been getting involved. He's apparently going to the vigil, or went to the vigil, and probably next time I do a video, I'll have some footage from that vigil. Hi to runners and droppers. Yes, our prayers now are for Sam to be found, aren't they, and be brought back to her family, albeit not alive. It's very important that they get her back for them, for their progression, that they can have a memorial, that they can, bury her with respect instead of thinking of her just out there somewhere, God knows where. So this boy and his family need to get involved and go to see him and tell him he's got to say where Sam is. He's got to help to bring her, if whatever's happened has happened. He can't take that back. But one thing that he can do to help the family now is to tell them where she is. He must do that. Okay, we're going to look at one more. I've got one more video to show you. And then really the next news we'll be hopefully sharing about Sam will be when she is brought back home, bless her.
The search is on this morning for the body of Samantha Murphy after the 22-year-old son of a former AFL player was charged with her murder. The 51-year-old was last seen on the morning of February the 4th, leaving her home in Ballarat to go for a run. An hour later, she is believed to have reached the Mount Clear area by foot, about 7 kilometres from her home. Police say the suspect was not known to the family and they have ruled out a hit and run as the cause of her death. Family and friends of Lance Corporal Jack Fitzgibbon have paid tribute to the soldier who died in
that's the point we're at. It's all about the looking for the body now. And obviously eventually finding it, but it'll probably be August when the court hearing starts, I don't know if that's the trial that's starting in August, but they said that he will next appear in court in August. Now, other things might come out in between, but the most important thing, obviously, that we're hoping for to come out is the location of Sam's remains and bringing her home. That's what we're looking for. That's the news we're hoping for, and it's awful to have to hope about that, but it's better than the alternative of never finding her. And, of course, it makes, if they don't find a body, it does make the murder charge more complicated to prove. And I suppose that's what his lawyer is advising him, which is exactly why I couldn't be a defence lawyer. So his lawyer needs to advise him, bring that lady home. So, yeah, well, that's it. We don't know. Why do we, Michelle? It's probably, who knows, and I still can't get over his age. I just can't get over it. It's like, I'm just amazed. But anyway, I shouldn't be. But it's a shame that you shouldn't be. I should be able to be amazed at how old he is. I know you're a man at 22, but even so, he just looks like a boy to me. Yeah. Hi. Don't worry, Jack. I'm finishing now, and I'll bring any updates that I can. Obviously, the big update has been, the arrest, the charges. Now he's actually, people can talk about and we know who he is. The next update, I am hoping, will be Samantha's body being found. Okay, so as usual, thanks for being here with me. Remember to live and love carefully, wisely. Enjoy the rest of International Women's Day. But it does seem very sad, doesn't it, that on International Women's Day, here I am talking to you about a woman who just went out for a jog one Sunday morning, just doing a normal thing, and ended up never seeing her family again. So it just seems ironic, and it makes it a very somber International Women's Day for me. But anyway, okay, so I'll see you really soon in the next video. And until then, may your God go with you. Bye. Bye.